Tamara Monosoff, #1 Amazon best-selling author and creator of the Author to Income Formula. And I'm delighted that you're here today joining me with our special guest. And before I introduce our special guest to you, I want to let you know that we are going to be focusing on membership sites. And with the Author to Income Formula, I'm always teaching different ways to generate income. And membership sites is definitely one of those ways to do that. And that's why I'm so excited about having our special guest with us, Joy Dooling, because Joy is 100% focused on helping us generate income with our membership sites. And today she's going to talk specifically about how to get started so that we can set things up the right way the first time, which will also save us money. And so Joy, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Yay. So let me just do a few housekeeping things, and then Joy, I'm going to turn things directly over to you, okay?
Yep, sounds great.
Now, okay, good. So first of all, please make sure that you are typing into the chat and letting me know that you can hear us and see us and all is well. I also want to let you know that it's important that as you have questions for Joy, that you go ahead and put the questions into the chat, and then we'll make sure to cover as many as possible. We are going to go for 1 hour, so Joy is going to properly introduce herself. I know that she's from Member Magnetism, and but she has a really interesting background that I think you're going to love. And so Joy is going to take it from there. But wait, Joy, let me just make sure from our members that everybody can see and hear. Dan, hi Dan from Nova Scotia, Canada. Thanks for being here. And Ron, loud and clear from Kansas City. Hey, Ron. And Kate, looking great. Okay, awesome. Mark, I can see and hear you. Woohoo. Craig is from Melbourne, Australia. Fantastic. Mark is from Boston. I'm so excited. We have such a global group. Hey, Robert from England. Michelle, hello. Alberta, wonderful. Well, Michelle from Ohio. Okay. We have a fantastic group, and Kathy from Colorado. Woohoo! Hey, Kathy. Okay, so with that said, all is well. Joy, it's all yours.
Okay, well, how exciting. Such a global audience.
Yay!
I'm going to pull up the slides here. Give me just a moment.
Perfect. We can see it. Yep, all's well.
Perfect. Awesome. So we're going to talk today about creating a highly profitable membership site. And if you had told me 12 years ago that I would be sitting here with you today talking about this topic, I would not have believed it, because it isn't really something I knew about 12 years ago. I had just left my state government job. I cashed out my pension, wanted to do something entrepreneurial, and kind of took the plunge into self-employment. You know, and some of you have probably been in that exact situation. You know how scary that leap is. My husband and I, when we talked about it, we said, okay, 6 months to get your business going. And if it's not going, then you have to go back and find a real job. So that's where it started, all back in 2005. And like most people who are just starting out in business, I would work with anyone who wanted me to do something. I just kind of considered myself a virtual project manager. I took on whatever the special project du jour was. And life has a funny way of showing you what path you're supposed to be on. So one of the first clients that I signed on was an organization just starting up called the Cochlear Implant Awareness Foundation, nonprofit. We got them all set up, got their capacity to take donors and all those things. And within 3 months, they won Microsoft's Start Something Amazing award. And that was just such a powerful experience. It told me, okay, I'm on the right path. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. The other big contract that I signed on was with a web development company. And I started writing content for websites and studying websites and how they work, and how you get people engaged in what you're doing online. And worked with them for several years, writing the content for all of their websites. And then I started, kind of expanding out nonprofits, associations, small business. My business became really this hodgepodge of experience. About that time, the recession hit. And you all probably remember a few years ago when things got pretty hard being in small business. And I found my small businesses pulling back, my nonprofits pulling back, and the organizations that continued on strong were the member-based organizations. They were the ones that were recession-proof. And that was a huge aha moment for me. And it kind of naturally became this niche for me because they were the businesses that continued going on strong. So I've spent most of the last decade really working with these membership organizations. I launched a member-based collaborative from scratch, Central Illinois Health Information Exchange. We grew them from just an idea around a conference room table to a budget of $1.3 million a year. Started speaking nationally on how you create member-centric experiences. Developed a 25hourday.com, which is a virtual team that works with member-based organizations. And then most recently launched Member Magnetism, which is what brings me to you today and is how I met Tamara. So that's kind of the journey, and that's who has, that's kind of how I've become the person that I am today, sitting in front of you. But today, my clients really tend to be people who want to start a membership, but they aren't sure how, people who started a membership, but it failed, or for some reason it's stuck, and they come to me not sure how to get unstuck. And then the third type are, people who have created memberships that have just become overwhelming for them, and they can't manage all the work that's associated with actually running it. I have a few goals for our time together, and let me tell you what those are. First, if you've been thinking about starting a membership site, but you haven't done it because you're not sure if it's the right fit, or you're not sure that it's really something that you know how to do, or that you're going to have the time to do, by the time we get to the end of today, I want you to feel like a membership site might actually be doable for you. I want to start you thinking about what a membership might look like for your business, what it might add to your business model. And third, I want to make it really easy for you to actually start down this path if this is something that you're interested in exploring. Tamara and I have talked about this a couple of times. We've done a couple of Facebook Lives, and we've talked about having goodies. So I promised you some goodies if you came on the call. So there are 3 things that I'm going to give you at the end of this call that I think you will really like if you are interested in potentially pursuing this membership angle for your business. First of all, you're going to have a special opportunity, and then you'll have these 3 resources. And I say that these 3 things, just having them in your hands and studying them, these 3 things can take years off of the membership site learning curve. There are so many people who they never get their membership site off the ground, or they struggle for years. They build it, it doesn't grow, and it takes them a long time to figure out exactly why that is. So these 3 resources are going to help immensely with that.
Yay, I'm excited.
Good.
I'm serious, and I've seen your content, and it's amazing. So I'm looking forward to them too.
Fantastic. So more about that at the end. The first thing that I want to share with you is that there are 3 things that you absolutely have to have for any membership to be profitable. And all of the reasons that membership sites fail are connected to one of these 3 things. And I want you to keep this in mind because we are going to come back to this at the very end. And I'm going to show you how this all connects to those three things. But let's start here. Let's start with the reasons why a membership program can make sense. And there are really, there are a few, and I've listed some of them on the slide, but the reasons will be different for different people. So, you may be thinking about, you've written a book and you want to gather an audience of the readers who are embracing your philosophy and, they want to go the next step in their relationship with you. You may be looking at it as a way of, continuing to build your brand. You may have a cause that you're passionate about and that you've written about, or you've created an organization around this cause, and a membership site gives you a way to rally people around that. Recurring revenue, we've talked about that a couple of times, leading up to this webinar. Membership site is a way of creating money coming in every month from the people who are members of your website. And interestingly, different from recurring revenue is this concept of having a different price point. So you may have a book, you may have a consulting package, you may have these different things that you do, and you may want to create a membership site because it offers either a lower price point or a higher price point. You could be strategic about where a membership site fits in your array of services. Hopefully that makes sense.
Hey, Joy.
Yes.
Just really quickly, I don't want to assume that everyone saw our Facebook Lives, and I really loved your analogy of a party. Would you mind just sharing that in terms of creating a membership? I really felt like that made a lot of sense in terms of creating your membership site.
Oh, absolutely. So I think Tamara had asked me the question, what is a membership site? And I said that, if from my perspective, at its most basic, a membership site is simply a website that, you have protected in some way so that only certain people can get access to it. But from my perspective, what you're doing with a membership site is the online equivalent to having your own private party. So you have to create a venue for your party, which is your site. You need to have, things that the guests are going to do at your party, things that are going to entertain them. As a host, it's your job to make sure that the people who come have a good time and that they want to stay. And so really the membership site is just the equivalent of having that party and getting people engaged in the party and showing your guests a good time.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. So if membership programs are such a great idea, why do so many people get stuck? And so if you've come to this call and you've been thinking about this at all, and you haven't done it, I would be really interested in hearing from you. What has kept you stuck? Why haven't you launched a membership site yet? So, if you could throw some of those ideas into the chat, that would be great. And I'll tell you the most common things that I hear, and then we can kind of compare to what you're feeling. See if your thoughts align with this, or maybe it's been something completely different. But here are the 4 things that I hear. I hear people don't know how to structure their membership. They're just not sure how to, what to put into it, how to price it, how to set it up. So it's all around structure.
Before you jump in,
yes.
just really quickly, just some of the things where people are feeling stuck is that Lexa says technology and cost.
Okay.
Janet says really didn't know about membership sites. Ron says was told I needed to get an online class up and running first to feed to the membership site and a value add.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Jan is more about not knowing how to do the technology. Patty says, I've considered it several times, but haven't been sure about the technology required and generating enough quality content. Right. And one thing I just want to say about that with regards to content, and then I'm going to totally pass it back to you, is you can repurpose the same content or a lot of the similar content that you already have, but you kind of take things to a deeper level, at least in my mind. Like I give my members something a little bit different, but it's along the same line. Does that make sense? Is that something that you suggest too in terms of content?
Absolutely. I see a membership site as the next step in the relationship. So you're just challenging people to go deeper, and you could totally reuse stuff that you have already created, but you need to be prepared to take people a little deeper and give them a different angle on it.
Okay, great. And then just a couple more things, and then you can respond however you wish. But Lindsay says that when you pay for something and yet we're supposed to give stuff for free in the email too, it's like wondering how to deal with, the free stuff and what actually goes in the membership site. And then Amara is worried about getting her brand recognized first. And really, people are just learning about it and wanting to know, how to. Okay, Michelle's more interested in how to generate product sales to improve donations. So, I mean, there's like a lot of different things you can see that a lot of people are like have been afraid to step forward, or because of these issues. So, I'm hoping that you'll address these concerns.
Yes. So, this sounds consistent with what I hear repeatedly from people. Usually it falls into 4 different categories of concern. One being kind of how to structure, how to price it, what content to put in it, how simple or complex to make it, those sorts of things. We heard technology quite a bit in those comments there. That is a biggie. How complicated is the technology to do this? Not sure anyone will join. I'm going to build this thing and no one will actually come is a big concern. And then the 4th thing, not sure they have the time. They're busy running other aspects of their business or nonprofit organization, or their speaking engagements, and setting this up and managing it on an ongoing basis may suck up a lot of time, and that's a concern for them. So it sounds like that's really consistent with what your attendees are saying, Tamara.
Yes, it's true. And, we all have that fear that no one's going to show up for our party. So it makes a lot of sense. And the technology is a biggie. So I know that you're going to address that, and I'm excited about what you're going to share.
Cool. So I have several secrets that I'm going to share with you on this webinar, and they relate exactly to those concerns. So I've already alluded to this secret number 1. Membership is just an extended experience with you. If you pay attention, you see membership all around you. In fact, I was watching 60 Minutes the other day, and I noticed that they had this 60 Minutes overtime. And I went out to look at what that was. And would you believe that 60 Minutes has a membership program where you actually pay a monthly fee and you get an all-access pass to additional content that they've put in there that they don't show on the television show? Did you know that, Tamara?
No. It's amazing.
I had never noticed that. So that was ESPN has a membership. If you open your own wallet or your own purse, you probably have, I don't know, I probably have 12 different membership cards in there for different businesses. So, this is something that we really see all around us. And if you think about, why you have all of these, it's because there's some tangible benefit to that for you. You've wanted to go one step deeper into the relationship. You're either, getting a discount, or you're getting members only content, or they're providing something to you beyond what you experience just being a customer walking in the door. So that's at its core what a membership program is. It's figuring out, this is what I'm doing now. I've written a book, or I do these talks, or, I provide this service in my business. What do I want the next step with these, the folks that I'm servicing to be? And membership is designed around that. So let me give you an example from one of my clients. So this is a consultant who has added what I call theme-based mini memberships to her events. So she found that she was speaking on certain topics, and when she would get done with her talk, she started offering people experiences beyond the talk. So she would say something like, I'm never able to cover as much as I would like to in these talks. So I've added X, Y, and Z to a special site. And there's a fee to join, but I guarantee that it's going to help you take the next step in your work on this particular topic area. And she kind of practiced that, but it really became these small little memberships that she would add that fit with the theme of what she was talking about. And it built her these little member audiences around those topics. And then she could upsell to them later because she was speaking to members and not just people who heard her talk once. And that gave her a much more powerful position. And interestingly, it actually increased the amount of revenue that she made from those speaking engagements by 25%.
Wow.
So she wasn't charging a lot for the membership, but while she had people there listening to her, they had just, finished hearing her speak. And this could be relevant for someone who just wrote a book. They've just finished the book. They're interested. They're asking questions, and it worked very naturally for her. So
you know what? Wait, before you go on,
go ahead.
You know why I love that story too, is because you can also do free speaking gigs in your community. Or one of the things I teach in the Author to Income formula is that you can type in the city that you want to go to, and you can type in speaking opportunity San Diego, California, and it will bring up opportunities for speaking. I have one client who's done this successfully. But the beautiful thing is, so you get in front of an audience that you normally wouldn't get a chance to speak to. You speak to that audience for free. But then with a membership site, I love that, where you say, I wish I could cover this in more detail, but here's another way that you can work with me, and we can talk on a deeper level. And then you offer them the membership site, which of course can lead into all sorts of different opportunities working with those clients. So that is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, so there are some really creative ways to do this. So the lessons I see coming out of that kind of client example and this concept of membership as an experience is you need to think about the questions that people ask after you speak, or after they read your book, or after they meet you at a networking event. What are the kind of the next step questions that they're teeing up for you? Because that's where you're going to find the sweet spot of what you offer. So let me give you an example from the consultant who did strategic planning retreats. And she found that people would come up afterwards and they would say, I want to do this with my team. How can I do this with my team? So what she created was the mini membership for these people to give them the tools that they needed to do it with their team. So it was just a twist on what she was already talking about, but it fit with the questions that people would ask her afterwards. Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah, it is.
So you kind of make it a no-brainer. They're already asking the question. You're just giving them the natural next step in the relationship. The other thing that I want to emphasize, especially since someone asked that question earlier, they mentioned you're needing to do a course first. So they would have a funnel. People sometimes they confuse the concept of a course with a membership site. Ongoing fee, if you want someone to pay you monthly or annually or however you're going to structure it, if you want them to pay an ongoing fee, you have to have ongoing fresh content. So if you think about you're inviting people to your private party, well, if you set out a bunch of appetizers and drinks, and you don't refill those things, people are eventually going to get hungry and thirsty and they're going to go someplace else. So you have to keep them engaged by offering new things. So,
and
yeah.
I love that analogy also, because I visually can see the party and people leaving if you aren't replenishing. But this is the thing, people get really concerned. How am I going to continually come up with content? And that's why I love what you said. And that is, pay attention to the questions people are asking you, because, and I teach that too. People consistently ask questions about your topic, your book, your whatever you do. And then when they ask you questions, make note of those questions and do a little tutorial or a video tip or something, and you can post that in your membership area, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, think about any topic that you are truly interested in. You learn something and then you want to know the next thing. And then you learn that next thing and you want to know the next thing. There's always a next thing. So if you're listening to your people, they're going to tell you what the next thing is. You just have to be aware enough to recognize it when they say it.
Or also another tip here is you can survey. Put a survey out on Facebook and say, hey, what's the number one thing you're struggling with and of course in your area of expertise, and you can get a lot of feedback that way if people are just to get the ball rolling.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this piece, well, this came up the most in those comments that were mentioned earlier, technology. So secret number 2 is that a compelling membership program doesn't actually require complicated technology. I tell people all the time that the technology is the easy part. I don't know that they believe me completely, but I'm telling you, the technology is the easy part. It's the member experience. I'm creating that, designing that, being aware of what people are wanting out of you. That's the tougher part, creating that experience. But the technology, easy peasy. So this is kind of an extreme example, but I actually have a client who's a physician, had a cause, wanted to rally people around that cause, and literally never created a membership site. She had a membership program, people paid annual dues, and in fact, just under $1 million in annual revenue so far, 2016, and that was created in 2012.
Wow.
So, for 4 years, she's had this recurring revenue, and there is no membership site to go to and get content. She has different ways that she relates to her members, and it works for them. So that's a totally extreme example, but I felt like I'd throw it in here because it really is an example of how you do not have to let the technology hang you up on this. So don't overcomplicate the technology. That's probably the biggest lesson in all of this. There is a way to get your genius out into the world and let members have access to that. It can be something super easy that you do yourself. But if you really are a complete technology phobe and you don't want to touch it, if you're the type of person, you turn on a computer and you get the blue screen of death, there are ways to get a membership site designed for you. It's one of the things that my team does for clients. So, totally can get that done for you. But I'm telling you, the technology is not hard. You pretty much have to have a way to protect the content. You'll want individual logins, not just password protection for a page. You want to be able to kick people out if they aren't, keeping up with their membership dues or whatever requirements you have around membership. So you want individual logins so you can individually approve and disapprove. You want to automate the renewals and the closures, cutting people off if they haven't paid. You want that process to be automated, because I cannot tell you how many people come to me with existing sites that they say that they've never maintained who's supposed to have access and who's not supposed to have access. So people have stopped paying. They're just getting it for free, and they've never maintained dropping those people off. And then you want your technology to be scalable. So I always advocate for starting simple, but making sure that whatever you do will scale with you, if you want to grow this thing really big. Does that make sense, Tamara?
Totally. Yeah. And
Okay.
I just love this. And just a quick question, and maybe you decide whether you want to wait till the end to answer this, but a couple of people have asked it, Kathy and Lindsay, about how do you discern the difference between like a freebie series versus membership site? Like, let's say you're giving someone a freebie, like in order to go into your membership site. Like, how do you discern the difference, I guess, is the question.
Well,
Okay, wait, and Lindsay's, sorry, go ahead and answer, but Lindsay's also spelled that out a little bit, in a asked, follow-on question to that. She said, how do you divide your content up? Your email, online webinar course, your membership site, what is considered most important?
Well, I am a huge advocate for being very generous in what you give to people, but there has to be a line. So the line for me is that and I've heard others say this too, that what you give away for free is the what. This is what people need to do. And the how is what they pay you for. The how is your expertise that you're bringing to them, whether that's through a membership site or your consulting services or whatever. But you give them the what and you help them with the how, and they pay for the how. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. I think, and just to jump into Lindsay and Kathy, like the freebie really is something separate, unless you're wanting to maybe give away a month of your membership for free. Would that be something that people could do?
Yes. So like a trial membership sort of thing?
Yeah, kind of
Yes.
like a join for a month. And then the nice thing about what the systems you use, the automated systems you use, is you would be notified after that month is up. Is that right?
Yes, that's very true. Now you have to be careful about trial memberships or really low fee memberships at the beginning. And you can run into this with any site, even if you're not doing a trial. This is why I say it's really important that you have ongoing content. You have to have an ongoing reason for people to stay engaged and remain a member. Because if you don't have something compelling that's happening going forward, somebody will get in, they'll download everything they possibly can from your site, and then they'll cancel. So that's where, planning your member experience is going to be really important. What are you going to offer to them in the first 30 days, and what happens beyond 30 days to make them continue wanting to stay at the party?
Okay, that's really helpful.
So secret number 3 is that if your member experience is right, you don't have to spend a dime on marketing. So, the concept of member magnetism really grew around this idea of creating the member experience. And, I don't teach marketing. I teach member experience. And this is kind of like throwing the kind of party that people want to be at and that they will tell their friends about. So here is another success story. This is one of my oldest and dearest clients. I shouldn't say oldest because that makes him sound really old, but he is a retiree. But this gentleman was my very first total stranger client. He is the very first person that I had to do a proposal for to win his business. And we started with the logo for his membership program and his membership application and his very first website. So we started when it was just a concept. So he retired and he wanted to create this group for his industry. He has spent no money on marketing. That is not in his budget whatsoever. But within 5 years of starting his organization, 90% of the people who were actually eligible to be members knew about him and were members. And that's because his focus has been on the member experience. If you're in that industry, you know him, you know what he offers, and you want to be a part of it. And that's powerful. That's more powerful than marketing.
Wow.
Isn't
That's a
that cool?
really, yeah, it really is. Your secret surprised me actually. But it's
Really?
true, right? In terms of the member experience. I love how you're framing that. It's awesome.
The clients that I have that are the most successful spend very little on marketing. They really emphasize the member experience. And when you talk to people who run membership programs and you talk to the ones who are struggling, and you ask them, where do you spend the most time and the most money? They will tell you marketing and technology. That those are the things that are the most expensive for them in terms of what they have to put into it. Talk to people who have thriving membership programs, and they will talk about member experience. It's a
So,
stark difference.
yeah, that is so interesting.
So the lesson for us in marketing, talked about this a little bit. What are the questions that people ask? That will tell you where they want to go with the relationship. Emphasize what they truly get in the answers that you provide, and do lots and lots of social proof. So let them see that there are other people at the party having a great time and they will want in. It's just a natural human thing to want to be part of that experience.
How
Doesn't
do you do that? Okay, I'm telling you, see, I'm always into the how. Sorry. How exactly do you do that, Joy? But yeah,
well,
I mean, of course, that makes perfect sense.
so secret number 4, even
Oh no, Joy, we lost you.
I'm sorry, are you there? Hello?
Yes, phew.
Oh,
Gosh,
sorry.
yes.
I think my elbow hit my button on my headset and
You
hit the
have
mute
no
button on.
idea. I was like hanging on every word. I don't know about you. Type into the chat if you're loving this. Type yes if you're, I mean, I just am loving this. So definitely, and I see that there are a lot of questions coming in for Joy. I promise you we're leaving time at the
We
end.
are.
And Joy will definitely answer your questions. And Lindsay's saying yes, Alberta, yes, Ronald, yes. Okay, we are
Good.
loving you. Kate says yes. Sadie, Monica, Margaret, woohoo! Dan, oh my gosh, they're coming in so fast. I love you all. Yay,
Awesome.
you're doing great.
So I am absolutely not a techie, and I think that's one of the things that people kind of get from me. I'm just a real down-to-earth person, and this is all about the member experience. But I wanted to tell you, you always see these people who talk about websites and membership programs like you can make $1 million a year, and sometimes we can't even think that big. I want to say that, a membership program can be impactful for your business, even on a small scale. So I have a client who is a coach who created a membership program as a supplement to her coaching income. She's up to $27,000 in annually recurring revenue. I mean, adding an extra almost $30,000 to her business. I mean, that's impactful.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it is. It's great.
Yeah, and that's just in 2016 up to where we are currently. So the lesson for us in that is don't overcomplicate the scope. Don't make your initial membership program so big that you can't get it launched. So if you wait for perfect, you'll be stuck for a long time. Start small, then scale big. Integration is something that comes up all the time. People are like, I want this membership site to integrate with this and integrate with this, integrate with this. Integration is limiting. So, yes, you want your contacts to be able to get into your CRM, and you want to be able to send emails, and, there are ways that you can do that. But if you look for a product that is going to automatically integrate with everything that you do, you'll be stuck with a product that does everything mediocre. and doesn't really specialize. If you try to do all things for all people, you'll be mediocre at everything. And that's how some of these products with a lot of integrations get. It just doesn't do anything really, really well. So it's just a caution that I have for you in designing this.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
And then don't let growth outpace your capability to serve. Sometimes a membership program works best when it's small and intimate. It's like having a small and intimate, private party. It just works for the people who are there. And then other times, you want a bash that's going to fill a football stadium. Just know your purpose and know what is going to allow you to give the best service to the people who are involved. So tomorrow's already done check-in. So it sounds like this is resonating. That's awesome. I have one more big slide that I want to show you, and this is I put all of the action steps on one slide so you can see it end to end. I've been told, oh, break it down into other slides. I want you to see it all in one. And this is the exact structure that I use to design effective membership programs with my clients, end to end. There will be a quiz. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm going to give you the slide in printable format. So it's one of the freebies that you get at the end.
Yay.
You don't have to worry about jotting down everything that's on this one big screen. When I teach this point, here's what people say. People talk about discovering that they are their own worst enemy. They talk about paying more attention to the touch points and realizing where they can lose people along the way, and how they have to pay attention to the process and the language and the weak spots, and getting crystal clear on why a member would want to join and why they would want to stay. Here are a couple of the people that I talked about in this slide deck are on this page. Women Leaders Association, she's the one who, actually it's pounds. I need to change. It's not dollar sign. It's sterling pounds in England. Continues to fine tune her association to support her coaching business. ALC, that's the one we designed from scratch, and now the leading voice for his industry. Monica, I consider her a causepreneur because she is really doing a terrific job kind of spinning out what she does with all of her various books into multiple streams of income and sharing those profits with causes that she cares about. So pretty cool. Here's the slide. This is the formula, end to end, 8 steps. So what you see here are the 8 steps of a member's lifespan. So if you start at 1, people have to discover you. That's the discovery stage. 2, people have to decide to join. That's the contemplation stage. Step 3 is activation. They have to pull out their credit card and join. 4 is onboarding. That's what happens immediately when people convert from being a prospect to a member. 5th, you have your first 30 days, critical time for membership. What you provide to them in the first 30 days sets the stage for the rest of the relationship. And then you have what happens beyond 30 days. It's amazing how quickly members forget about the value that they're receiving and they start questioning when it comes time for renewal. What am I really paying for? Did I get anything out of this? That time beyond 30 days, you're constantly reminding them of the value that they got. Pre-renewal is, how you lead up to their renewal. And the last piece is post-renewal. I call that renewing the romance. So these are the pieces that you have to have in planning and implementing your membership site. So if you do these things well, you will get 3 results. And remember, in the beginning, I said there were 3 things that you had to have for a profitable membership site. This is where those come into play. You have to have the first 3 things lead you to members who pay, Steps 4 through 6 lead you to members who play. They're the guests who are at the party having a good time and engaging with you. And number 7 and 8 get you members who stay. If you do not have any one of those 3 things, you'll have a really hard time finding traction in your membership program. So when we design a site, it's about making sure that all 8 stages are taken care of. Does that make sense, Tamara?
It's awesome. I've never seen it laid out that way, and it's fantastic because it really gives you a view, an aerial view of the process. And I love that you're focused on each of these stages really coming to a particular result. And I love the members who pay, members who play, and members who stay. I mean, that is just awesome. I love it.
Cool. Good, good, good. So it's a lot to have on one screen, which is why I said that I would provide you with a printable copy so it won't have this blue background and suck up all the ink out of your printer. So
thank you.
I'm going to take a group of people through the first 4 stages in this model. So how to get people to discover you, how to get them to choose you, how to get them to join, what you're going to do when they first get started, and just going through those things gets you launch ready. You've planned the first half of the member experience. So I'm going to be taking a group through that. And, I would love to invite you to join me on that journey. In 4 weeks, actually, I think it's 5 weeks with Christmas being thrown in there, we're going to have 4 weekly webinars, all recorded, and we're going to go through exactly how to set up your structure, how to set up your technology, how to do your marketing, how to manage it all. And then because I anticipated that technology was going to be a biggie, I threw in a exclusive for tomorrow's group. I've never done this before. I'm going to do a recorded demonstration of the technology that is my favorite, that I think is the easiest and gives you the best capacity to scale. So that would be included for this group that's going to go through this. And then I also put together a whole bunch of cheat sheets for you. So if it looked like it was something in my files that was relevant to starting up your membership site, I threw it in. So you got 23 ways to help more prospective members find you, 18 ways to help prospective members sign up faster, 9 ideas to put into your welcome kit. I also address kind of taking that magnetism concept to your blog, Facebook, and your non-membership site website. And then I have a swipe file in there, which are letters, emails that you will need for common things that come up with membership sites. So, what your renewal notices should say, what happens if someone's credit card declines, how to get testimonials from your people, your members who join. So all sorts of things that I think will help you be successful as you get your membership up and running.
I love it. I want every single one of those. I'm not kidding.
So it is a complete training program, and it really is intended to make this doable and get your program launched. Skips you over the learning curve, solves your technology questions, gets you up and running fast. You have lifetime course access, so you can learn at your own pace, revisit anytime you want, email support throughout, plus I have a fast action bonus of a private one-on-one implementation session. So if you complete the course and you get in on the scheduled session, I will actually walk through your membership site plan with you and help you get that implemented. So we did Tamara is a tough bargainer.
Like my mouth is open. I'm not kidding. I did not know about that last bonus that you just sent in about having the one-on-one. So my mouth just dropped if you saw me on camera. I'm like, what? Because already I was like, Joy, really? Are you okay with this price? Because she just offered us the most unbelievable price for this program. And I know her, and I'm just like blown away by what you just offered to my community. So thank you. And I hope you take advantage of this. I put the link into the chat. It's just tamaramanesoff.com/go/joy. And I am just blown away. So thank you. It is. Lindsay just said that's very generous of you. And the one-on-one, I'm seriously amazed. So awesome. I hope everyone jumps in and grabs this. You will not believe what you are getting. And those cheat sheets alone, to me, are worth it. So go ahead, Joy. I didn't mean to jump in, but I was like, whoa.
Good. I'm glad you had a good reaction to that. And I didn't know you didn't know about that final piece. That's something that I usually try to do because I want people to implement. This is not something that I want you to do and not use. So I put in every possible support I can think of to make sure you actually get this done. Anybody who knows me knows I'm really passionate about starting up new projects. So I want you to start this up and I want you to get it done.
Awesome. Okay, we're getting lots of gratitude here from Kate, and awesome. So let me jump in right now. And can we do Q&A, or do you have? Okay,
that's
great.
Absolutely fine.
Okay, if you want to leave the screen up so they can see do you have the screen with the URL? Oh,
yes.
Okay, let's do that so everyone can see. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, it's tamaramanesoff.com/go-joy. You get all those amazing freebies. You get her course. You get a one-on-one with her. I mean, I'm blown away. Thank you for your generosity, because seriously, that is amazing. So let me jump in. We've got questions coming in. So let's.
And Tamara, just to make it clear, that URL has both the freebies and the sign up for the course. So you don't have to sign up for the course to get the freebies, but it's just all on that one page.
Yay. So hear that clearly. Jump over there right now to get those amazing freebies that she offered, whether you sign up for the course or not. Of course, I think you should sign up for the course, jump on it like now, so you can kick off 2017 with this opportunity. I mean, I'm so excited. So, but let's get some questions answered, okay? So jump in. That's how you get your freebies. Again, I'll put the link in right here in the chat. It's just tamaramanesoff.com/go/joy. And okay, so here we go. Ronald, I hope that answers you. Asked where we sign up. So I hope that you can that answered your question. And Ruby, love that overarching process slide that you had, just kind of get the full picture. So I just want to give you some feedback on that. And Lexa says, sounds wonderful. Do you have a done for you creation of the membership site price? Do you understand that question?
Yes. So if she does not want to do it herself, can we do it for her? So I would absolutely talk with you about that. Generally, a done for you membership site is going to be around $1,000.
Which is still totally reasonable if you're not having to do anything. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so Janet says, let people. Okay, wait. That wasn't a question. I don't think. Okay, how do you recruit people to get started? That was one of your points on the big scale. Do you want to can you just give like a quick one little thing to help people, how you recruit people? Okay.
So you invite them into the next step of the relationship. So it depends on what you are currently doing. So if you have a book, you're inviting them to do the next step beyond the book. Maybe you make recommendations in the book for things that would change their business or change their life. The membership program, you would be inviting them to actually make those changes with support. Does that make sense?
Yep, love it.
It's going to be very much custom to what you do, but you just need to think about what's the next step? What would you love people to do after reading your book or hearing you speak, and how can you support them in doing that next thing?
Okay, great. And then Lindsay says, what's a typical cost for a membership for a coach? that people are willing to pay, and her target market is women?
Completely depends on what you're offering. So it's entirely dependent on what you put into it.
Let me ask you this, just to kind of play off of Lindsay's question.
Yep.
Is it possible to test one price point, and then if it's not working like how you would hope, to modify that, or how do you do that?
Oh, absolutely. You can offer one price point for a while, and if it doesn't take off, you can switch it just by changing the name of what it is and changing the price point. So you definitely have flexibility. I mean,
Okay.
I have clients who offer multiple levels on the same site. They just vary what's in it.
Okay, can you just give an example, just so we can have a kind of like in our brains, just say, and I know this is hard because we all have different areas of expertise, but like from one level to like from the lowest level to the highest level, just so we have a range.
So I have a client who has a free offer, a free membership. I have a client who then has kind of basic membership, and then there's kind of the premium membership, and she has different names for them, like advanced, accelerator, and they have different things in them. So the basic level, the free level, they get like a free magazine, and the basic the next level up, that advanced level, they get discounts to events that are coming up, and they have some webinars, some educational events, and then the third level up, they get mentoring programs and things like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Does it help? Okay.
Yeah, it definitely does. Okay, so and Charles says, do you recommend any particular membership platform?
Interestingly, all of my clients, I shouldn't say all of my clients, some of them use the same thing, but they use lots of different products depending on what they want to do. So when someone asks me, what's the best thing for me? My question back is, what exactly do you want to do, like to start and to scale? So my favorite one, and the one that I'll demo for the group that goes through, is called Wild Apricot. And I believe that it lets you start small, it lets you start free, and it lets you scale to the kind of bells and whistles that the big guys have.
And I love that you're going to do a video tutorial about showing the back end of exactly how to use it, right? That's part of this package. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, great. Kate says, thank you so much. Join tomorrow. Just want what I needed and perfect timing. Woohoo! Yay! That's awesome.
Love to hear that.
Yes. And Eileen says, awesome. Yay. I'm so excited. Okay. Now, Lindsay says, how do you price it? So just give us an example. So in that, I know we're all going to price, right? Price and technology.
How much money can I make? So
I know. Well, we want to know what to get for the party. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we getting hot dogs with caviar?
Here's a couple of examples. So
okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. So, let's just say that you have, 10 members. I mean, think very modestly of 10 members, and you're offering them something that they're willing to pay $50 a month for. That's an additional $500 a month, or $6,000 a year.
Wow.
Or let's say that you are speaking. I mean, the numbers here are small, and still can have impact. And then
I get excited. Oh, it's so great.
I was going to say, let's say you do speaking, and out of an audience or several audiences, you end up having, 200 people who have come hear you speak, and they pay $10 a month for an extended experience. It's $2,000, and that's not a monthly. It's like they just pay $10 for something extra that you've added that you weren't able to cover in the talk. You just added $2,000 to your speaking engagement.
Incredible. Are you hearing this, everyone? This is real and totally doable. And I really appreciate, Joy, that you're not saying, oh, and you can add another, $1 million to your bank account, because we're all so sick of hearing that, or six figures or whatever. Not to say that that isn't possible, maybe down the road, but I love your examples that are so real. It's like, yes, I want an extra $500 in my bank account a month. Yes, I'd love an extra $2,000 in my bank account. What could that do for you to have that recurring cash in your bank account? I just I really appreciate that you're being so realistic with the numbers. Love it.
So let me leave you with one final slide, and this is just one of my favorite quotes, and it's the
Just
best way
really
to
quick.
Yep,
Wait.
the best.
Shout out.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just excited. Shout out to Ron. He just signed up. Woohoo! Okay, go ahead.
The best way to predict your future is to create it. So if this is something you've been thinking about for a while, or maybe it's brand new, but it sounds good to you, the best way to build it into your next year is to actually get started creating it.
Well, and I love that, Joy, you have now a decade of experience helping people do just that. And so, I mean, let's just see if there's any more questions. Everyone's chiming in. Joy, Eileen says, amazing. Thank you. Lindsay, yes, thank you, Joy. Sherry says, best training ever.
Oh, good.
Awesome. Tamara says, are you available to help? I mean, Tamara, are you available to help? Yes. Okay, that's so funny. But yeah, and it's like, Lexus, this sounds like my kind of info, but I still need someone to create it for me. Right. Well, you have... I'm blown away because you signed up for a training for $149. I'm still like stunned. And then not only is she going to walk you through that, not only is she going to give you a demo on the technology, but then yes, and a one-on-one with you, then yes, if you just say, forget it, Joy, I want you to just take it over and do it, then she can do it for you too. Love it. Okay, so Dan said, is your full course, or is this just the first half of the 8 points you made? Oh, good question.
This is the first half. This gets you through 1 through 4. So this will actually get you launched.
Okay, awesome. And then what happens after that? They can talk with you about, the next stages if we want to get into more of a growth mode. So you're taking them through, like, here's the technology. Here is how you can successfully get people to the party and launch this site. And then if they want to continue to learn how to grow, then they can maybe pursue you and work with you on a deeper level later. Is that right?
Yes, and we can talk about that in that implementation session. So if there are concerns about steps 5 through 8, we can talk about what those are and how to start tackling those.
Okay, fantastic. Yay. Okay, I hope you all jump in on this phenomenal offer. I am so excited about it. And so I'm going to put it in the chat one more time, and it's tamaramonosoff.com/go/joy. And that's where you go to get your freebies, those amazing freebies that Joy has offered also. And then you can also sign up for the course. And Joy, I believe you're giving everybody until Sunday. Is that right?
Yes, Sunday.
Okay, so you've got until Sunday to jump in on this offer. And Joy, thank you so much for your time today and for your generosity.
My pleasure.
Yay, and just jump on camera one more time, if you will. Click on the green arrow so you can come back and so we can see your beautiful face. Green. Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm almost there.
Yay!
Am I out? Yay!
Yay! Okay, and everybody's just sending their appreciation and gratitude. So thank you, Joy, so much for this beautiful time together with you. Really awesome content. Really helped me kind of map it out in my brain, and for your generous offer as well. So take care, everyone.
Bye.